Hello Year 10s. So here we are, we're going to look at sketching polynomials that aren't in factored form. So you can see that I've got a cubic function. So the first thing I know is that I've got up to 3 factors. But at the moment I don't have it in factored form. So the first thing I need to do is use my factor theorem and find a factor. So I'm going to start with some trial and error. I'm going to start with finding what happens when x equals 1. And when x equals 1, I get 1 cubed, take 1 squared, take 10 lots of 1, take 8. And if I put that into my calculator, make sure I can see it, 1, take 10, take 8, I get negative 18. So because that doesn't equal 0, we know that x take 1, so therefore not a factor. So now we need to try something else. So usually we go straight away to the negative. So that leaves us with negative 1 cubed, take negative 1 squared, take 10 lots of negative 1, take 8. And I know that makes negative 1, take 1, take negative 10, take 8. So if I put that into my calculator, I've got negative 1, take 1, take negative 10, take 8, and I get 0. So that's pretty handy, I get 0. So that tells me that x, opposite sign, plus 1 is a factor. So I found my first factor. So once I've got that, I go and do some long division. So I'm going to have x plus 1 out the front. I'm going to have my polynomial underneath. X cubed, take x squared, take 10x, take 8. So x into x cubed goes x squared times, multiply it out. I'm going to do the multiplying a little bit quickly here. Then take away nothing. Negative x take x is going to give negative 2x squared. Draw down this result. X into negative 2x squared is negative 2x. Multiply back. Negative 2x squared, take 2x. Subtract. This take this will be nothing. Negative 10 take negative 2 is the same as negative 10 plus 2, which gives me negative 8x. Bring this down. X into negative 8x is negative 8 times. Multiply it out, and I get negative 8. This is looking good. This take this will be nothing. This take negative 8, take away negative 8 is adding, which is equal 0, which is what I should have achieved. So now I know that my polynomial can be factorised into this. So I can say, therefore, y equals x plus 1. That was what my divisor was. And multiplied by my quotient, x squared take 2x, take 8. So I've got a factor times a factor. But notice that this one's a quadratic, so I'm going to have to try and factorise that further. So keep the front factor, that's already done. I'm going to attempt to factorise by the cross method. X in front of both. Now I want something that multiplies to make negative 8. That adds to make negative 2. So I'm thinking I'm going to have a 4 and a 2, and I've just got to work out which way is which. If I have a negative 4 and I have a positive 2, that's going to get me my negative 2x. So now I've got 3 factors. From there, I can easily use the null factor law to find my roots. So I've got 0 equals x plus 1, so x equals negative 1. 0 equals x plus 2, so x equals negative 2. And 0 equals x minus 4, so x equals 4. So I found my 3 roots. Then I want to find my y-intercept. I find that when x equals 0. So substitute 0 into my original equation. I'll just have to look back up here for a moment. Take 0 squared, take 10 times 0, take 8. So I've got y equals negative 8. Now I have to have a look and think about my end behaviour. Now when I look at this, this is a positive x cubed, okay, which means my end behaviour will be positive. So let's see if we can sketch some information. Along my x-axis, I've got a root at -1, -2, and then I've got one at 4. I have my y-intercept at -8. Let's say that's there. Now I have to think about how this is going to happen. The only way to include this y-intercept is that this must come through this point and come back up, which means this must trail here. And looking at that, that gives me my, oops, sorry, I didn't show that very well. So I said the only way to find my -8 was to start here, go through that and back up. And the only way then to go through my -2 was to trail back down here. And that leaves me with positive end behaviour. So remember to pop that arrow on it. And there we go. We've managed to sketch our cubic function.